The standard that we'll be looking at today is MGSE1.OA.7. Understand the meaning of the equal sign and determine if equations involving addition and subtraction are true or false. For example, which of the following equations are true and which are false? 6 equals 6, 7 equals 8 minus 1, 5 plus 2 equals 2 plus 5, 4 plus 1 equals 5 plus 2. Some kid-friendly I can statements for this particular standard are: I can understand what the equal sign means. I can tell if an equation is true or false. This standard is listed in Unit 3, Operations and Algebraic Thinking. This task is a constructing task. Immediately when we look at this standard, we'll see the standard is listed here. Understand the meaning of the equal sign. What you'll also notice is a second standard, OA8, which reads, determine the unknown whole number in an addition or subtraction equation relating to 3 whole numbers. While this standard is very good and is listed here for coherence, it will not be the main focus of this task. I really want to call your attention to the background knowledge and common misconceptions when working with this standard. Many students think that the equal sign means that an operation must be performed on the numbers on the left, and the result of this operation is written on the right. Students may think that the equal sign is like an arrow that means becomes, and one number cannot be alone on the left. Students often ignore the equal sign in equations that are written in a non-traditional way, especially when numbers are written on the left. It is important to provide equations with a single number on the left, as in 18 equals 8 plus 10. The meaning of the equal sign should be taught as the same as, which is highlighted here. It is very important when teaching this standard to make sure that that definition of the equal sign is written, is the same as. Today we're going to be talking about what the equal sign means, okay? Can I get anybody to tell me what the equal sign actually means? Kennedy?
The equal sign means it's the same as.
Very good. The equal sign means it's the same as. So I have an activity that we're going to complete that deals with what the equal sign means. Turn your attention right here to this chart. What you have are 2 scales. Scale A weighs how much?
9 pounds.
Very good. Scale B weighs how much?
6 pounds.
Okay, so now look at the shapes that are on top of each of the scales. And I want you to think about how much each one would weigh. So looking at this first question, it says, what is the object on scale B? What's the object on scale B?
Triangle.
A triangle. How much does the triangle weigh?
6 pounds.
How do you know it weighs 6 pounds?
Because we see it in the middle.
Very good. So we see that the triangle weighs 6 pounds. Now let's look at the second question. What are the objects on scale A?
A triangle and a square.
All right, and how much does the triangle and the square weigh?
9 pounds.
So now I want to ask you a question. If we know the triangle weighs 6 pounds and the triangle and the square weigh 9 pounds, how much does the square weigh?
6 pounds.
9. I hear 6. What are you for you, Layla? The second video that you're going to see is a student video in which the students are going to be asked to solve the additional scale problems listed in the task. What I want you to notice is that Carmen has written the sum on the left side of the equation, which may seem unnatural, odd, or confusing at first glance, but this is critical to the first grader's emerging understanding of equality. Also notice that Carmen has made a mistake, but the teacher intentionally does not correct her. Instead, Carmen is allowed to evaluate her own work, which has a much greater impact on her ability to reason mathematically. We have our equation set up, and remember we're solving for the 2 squares. 14 equals blank plus 4 plus square. So we have to figure it out. So the question is, how much do the squares weigh? And then I'm going to ask you, do the squares weigh the same? So Kennedy and Carmen, come on up. Kennedy, this side. You're going to work on this side. Okay? And Carmen, you're going to work on this side.
Can I start?
Yes, start. Because in your math journal, you were solving for that equation, and I want to see what you're thinking about that. you writing? And then we're going to ask Carmen about what she did.
Write my number that I know. Oh no. I messed up.
So you got 10. So the square root is 10. Okay. What do you want to change about that one?
I want to change it to math.
Okay, go ahead.
I work with Carmen. So what do we do now?
One way to address the rigor with this particular standard is by turning your attention to an online resource. Please type in www.illustrativemathematics.org. Once you reach this web page, you will be directed to this home site. In order to find the particular instructional activity that I want you to work with, please scroll down and click Content Standards on your left-hand side. Once there, please go include first grade. When you reach the first grade content standards, you'll see that they're outlined into domains. We'll be working with operations and algebraic thinking. In order to find our particular standard, we'll go down and click on OAD, which calls for working with addition and subtraction equations. Here, you will see the standards that are listed. Again, it's important to highlight how 7 and 8 deal with the coherence, but for this particular standard, we're looking at OA7. Within this particular standard, there are several instructional tasks that are outlined. One I want to call your attention to is using links to represent equality. Once there, looking at this instructional task, you'll see that students have to work in pairs to understand the meaning of the equal sign by using Cuisenaire rods. This particular activity is very instrumental in helping students to understand the relationship of equality. Not only do students have to work with solving operations on both sides of the equal sign, they have to use Cuisenaire rods with length to understand that they also mean the same as. Again, the essential idea that you want to get across to students is that the equal sign means the same as.